What is up, guys? Bringing you another video on instapokego.com. If you're a subscriber, you've probably seen my previous video about it. I just basically took you through how to sign up, how to do it, how to go through the process, all that. And so what you're watching now is gameplay, but first I want to mention that I was watching a live stream from the creator of this, and they shut down his channel on Twitch. This has been officially shut down. I'm not too familiar with Twitch, so I don't know if users report him, if that makes him get taken down, if official representatives at Twitch make the call on that. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe one of my subscribers can clue me in the comments below. Let me know if you know that. But anyways, be sure to check out my first video about this if you haven't seen it. It'll tell you what's going on here, but putting that aside for now, you're just watching me go through a session. In that first video, I mentioned that the session happens very quickly. I didn't even realize that it actually goes through it in live time, which is pretty cool because you can watch it all happen. And I guess in the other one, it just happened before me realizing that it was going on. So basically, I'm going to give you some notes about what I learned from this guy, I guess Sean Bartel, if that's right, S. Bartel. You see the Twitch tab is open. I recorded this while I was watching the Twitch stream. But I'll just go through some notes that I took down, give you guys some info if you're interested in this little bot project going on here. Could be really good. So stay tuned if you want that info. But yeah, let me see what I got on my list here. So first of all, iChase popped into the stream. He was there for a good amount of time. He's a pretty big YouTuber, got about 125,000 subs nowadays. After discovering this, I actually checked out his channel, and he actually posted a video about it. So he seems to be pretty into it. One of the things I did learn just from the conversation going on in the Twitch stream is that Niantic is not actually hard banning accounts, not permanently banning accounts. So that's pretty good info to know. You see here I'm on a second account. This is not my main account that I'm showing on screen, so I don't really care what happens to it, but I guess the deal is that they're not hard banning accounts. Only soft bans are being issued, and I'm not sure what the reason is. I think with any game, I think you got to be careful who you ban, because you never want to ban an honest player, right? And I think, and as well, there's a user base, and I think I heard somewhere that like 2/3 of all players have hacked or broken the terms of service of this game in some way. And so if they just brought down that ban hammer, they're losing 2/3 of their entire user base right there, right? And so, I mean, a game is a software. Software companies are huge on numbers of users. You hear daily active users thrown around all the time, things like that. So I don't think they're gonna ban anyone right away, and that's what it seems like is the rhetoric in the community, whatever. So that's pretty good info to know. I'm definitely not advocating to use this tool on your main account. I would still say make a second one just to be safe. But you might be able to get away with it, so if you don't care that much, maybe give it a try, whatever. One thing that was mentioned in the stream is that trading is going to be brought into Pokemon Go. You probably know that already if you play the game, and it was mentioned that you could make a second account like I'm doing right now, and then down the line in the future potentially trade with yourself, right? So I really hadn't thought about that before, me being incredibly naive. So I wonder how they're going to implement trading with a D, to avoid that situation, right? Because in theory, I mean, I could have a legitimate account and just have a bunch of bot accounts that I have all the best, rarest Pokemon on, and trade them, right? So I mean, just off the top of my head, I think like maybe they'll limit it to a number of trades per day. Maybe it'll say if one account is giving a 3,500 combat point or combat power Dragonite, then the other account has to give at least a 3,500 CP Pokemon, which I don't even know if there is one in the game or whatever. But I'm pretty sure Dragonite is 3,500 maxed out. But you get the point. Maybe they'll level it out like that, because obviously, when I trade my legitimate account with the bot account, using that limitation, I might be able to get one or two very rare Pokemon for a duplicate Pokemon of high CP that I have, if I'm explaining that well. But I couldn't basically just give all the bots Pokemon to myself and my actual account, right? So that'll be interesting to see what they come up with. And since I hadn't thought of that before, I'm actually really glad that they don't have trading in this game yet. Let's see what else we got. So it was talked about how they would ban people. One of the developers from the project said that Ingress, which is the company that manages a lot of these location stuff with the Pokestops and whatever, they cross-reference the stored Wi-Fi SSID in the location that you're reportedly in. And they apparently also use cell tower information, which can be very tricky to spoof. So if they really wanted to stop the cheating, they should be able to do it relatively easily. It's just a matter of dedicating the resources to it and navigating those issues of depleting the user base, making sure, absolute sure, to not ban legitimate players, things like that. But as for this tool itself, it's currently running on AWS machines, which if you're a software programmer, developer, just even in that industry at all, you know what that is. Amazon Web Services. I've worked with those in my past. It's just a platform basically, and they currently have 400 bots running at once. And since they have donations set up on their site, they said multiple times that they're not looking to make money off of this. It's just like a fun little project they're doing. So each donation they get is not going into their pockets. It's simply to scale up more servers, and the more bots they have, the less you wait in a queue time. Speaking of queue time, I noticed that it takes about 2 hours to get through a queue of 1,200 people. So every 2 hours you can get a 15-minute or 10,000 XP session in. That's how it works. Each session will time out at 15 minutes, or it'll time out at 10,000 XP, whichever happens first. And now this just launched on Wednesday, so it's very brand new. I'm recording this in the very, very early morning of Saturday, so just a few days late to the party here. And they're pretty much going viral, getting tons of news press and everything like that. Right now, if you saw the last video, you have 4 locations to choose from: Sydney, New York City, London, and Tokyo. The developer himself rated them from best to worst in terms of finding the best Pokemon. Sydney, then NYC, then London, then Tokyo, but they're all very close. And the reason that there's only 4 locations right now, and they might not add locations in the future, is that they basically create bots that go out and scout the land, and they just move insanely fast. So fast that they would actually get soft banned. But it doesn't matter, because all they do is report the location of Pokemon that they see in the area, and then they save that, in one big list basically, and this bot can reference that list when it goes out and actually catches those Pokemon, so it knows where they're going to be. And creating those bots, those scout bots that go and seek out the Pokemon, I guess that takes a lot of work, and it's a manual process, so they're probably not going to add more locations anytime soon. Switching regions quickly will soft ban you, but the game will do everything to get you out of that soft ban as quickly as possible. That just means, like, if you did one session in Sydney and then right away went to a session in New York City, you would get soft banned. I'm not sure what the window is for that. you know, because if you have a session in Sydney, then you're waiting about 2 hours at least in a queue. So 2 hours later, if you go to New York City, not sure if you'd be soft banned, not sure what the limit is on that, but if you do, it'll get you out of it soon enough. What else? The game has a priority for catching starting Pokemon, the 3 starters, as well as Pikachu. And other than that, it targets rare Pokemon first. It rates them by fighting power and goes for them, you know, things like Snorlax, those guys. Let's see, you know, I mentioned last video that it has to store your trainer club account password. And this is more technical. The reason for that is just basically so that your session doesn't expire before you actually join the game, because you log in and then you're sitting in a queue, and what happened was people were waiting in the queue so long that their token for their session actually expired before the bot was able to launch with their account, and so then it wasn't working for them basically. So that's why they need to store your password. So just use a different password than any other account you have for this bot for using this. You know, once again, people in the stream were saying that your accounts will not get banned. They were saying if anything, the bot will get shut down with a legal letter from Niantic. I could see that happening. Once again, I talked about the reasons not to ban things like that, so I don't know. I mean, keep it in mind. You know, it could be a pretty nice tool to have. What else? I mean, it's always prioritized to catch rare Pokemon. It wants to fill the Pokédex. That's the main goal, is filling the Pokédex. So if it sees in your area a Pokemon that you haven't registered yet, it'll target that one first and foremost to fill up your Pokédex. It throws the perfect curveball every time. It basically sends a request to Niantic's server with the, you know, whatever data it is for a perfect curveball. So it's easy to get XP. You know, you get like 500 XP for every new Pokemon you see. Then you get a curveball bonus and whatever, so you get extra XP for that. And that's how they catch the Pokemon. I think really the only last thing is that it will not delete, remove, evolve any Pokemon in your collection. So you kind of have to manually, you know, whatever, transfer your Pokemon that you don't want to hold on to, or whatever you need to do. Buy more slots to hold more Pokemon, whatever the deal is with that. So once it fills up, you know, you have to take the initiative to do that. The bot will not release, like, even the lowest CP Pokemon. It will not automatically release those. So I think that basically covers it. Just, you know, blabbing on about what I learned, you know, watching that stream for an hour or two, whatever it was. And unfortunately, the channel did get shut down by Twitch. So we'll see how that goes in the future. The website is still up, so definitely take advantage of it while you can. I think the site would be shut down before they even banned accounts, before they even thought about banning accounts. So it could be good to take advantage of, and I'm glad to share it with you guys. So I know this video was a little messy, but I'm trying to get it out there as soon as possible for you guys. Hopefully you can listen to what I say and enjoy the background video going on. If you have any questions, just hit me up in the comments, hit up my social media, my website, whatever you need to do, I will be there to answer them. I got your back on this. I know a lot of info on it after watching the stream, hosted by the developer himself, one of the main developers. I don't know if he's the actual main developer, whatever. He's part of the team. That's the main thing I'm saying here. So learned a lot of stuff, and I feel like I know a lot about this bot now. So feel free to ask me anything. I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate you watching this whole video. Really helps me out. And, you know, be sure to share this around with whoever plays Pokemon Go. You know, it might be useful. It's, you know, gaining a lot of media attention, so I'm sure people know about it anyways. But just doing my part to help. Hopefully you guys appreciate it. And as always, I will catch you on the next video.